Welcome to Inside the Firm, a podcast dedicated to small business owners and hosted by entrepreneurs, Alex Gore and Lance Cayko. Each week, they take you on their journey of how to start, run, and grow a business by bringing you inside their architecture and real estate development firm. Get a behind-the-scenes tour of how these business leaders manage their clients and foster company culture while creating new and innovative projects. And now your hosts, Alex Gore and Lance Cayko.
Welcome to another episode of Inside the Firm. I'm Al Move Rocks Gore. I'm here with Lance. Also Move Rocks Cayko.
Yeah.
And we are here to move metaphorical rocks. One of them being your skills at Revit through RevitRocketship.com. Go check it out. Yours truly trains you up on Revit, how to mimic construction from the beginning so that you can basically have more responsibility in the plan set. So eventually you can have more reward. Check it out. Money back guaranteed for the first month. RevitRocketship.com.
I also want you to check out ARCAT.com. As more businesses and tenants demand green design in their buildings, LEED certification is more important than ever. And while ARCAT is known for being red, they can help you go green. ARCAT provides thousands of LEED reports from building product manufacturers on how their products can help you make the green choice that's right for your project. Head over to ARCAT.com and find the information you need for LEED. That's ARCAT.com. Last but certainly not least, I need you to check out PellowLuxury.com/the firm. That's right, PellowLuxury.com/the firm. You have never experienced a brand like this before. The collection of brands within the luxury division of Pella are the conversation starters, the pioneers of industry who provide window and door solutions to discerning architects, the building industry, and beyond. They have decades of experience creating things no one else in the world is creating, and the collection of brands are brought together to complement and build on one another. They don't push beyond the limits. They set them. Explore PellowLuxury.com/the firm today. Al, what was your name again? Moving Rocks Gore.
Yep.
I have an amazing chart to show you and the audience, and it is mind-blowing to me. And honestly, I guess, where did I put that link in? I'm going to have to go to my own LinkedIn. By the way, if you are listening to the show and you have not linked in with me yet, I highly encourage you to do that. I post stuff like this that I think then kind of we end up talking about on the show. And so what it is here we go, Al. Check this sucker out.
Look at that.
So there's this chart that someone, one of my other LinkedIn folks posted, and it's from the Associated, I'm going to read it to you, the Associated General Contractors of America, and it is a flow chart that is titled, So You Want to Build With That, Good Luck With That.
Yeah, so you want to build, ? Good luck with that.
So you want to build, good luck with that.
Where does the...
Which is the title of this episode.
It is a very complicated flow chart that has probably over 150 squares that sort of lead into each other and go down different process routes.
Yep.
Starts with scoping.
Yep, exactly. Now, it looks like, to be fair, to people that were commenting about this in various forums, this chart is directed at people that are general contractors and the process of when you're working with federal lands. But my overall thoughts with so I highly encourage you to go check it out. If you want to find the link, basically just go to my LinkedIn feed. And you'll just go to my activity and you'll see it. It's a giant graphic that is too big to display. Even when I zoom in, you'll see if you're watching on YouTube, like it's hard to kind of see the whole thing. But the point of it all was to explain the process of what it takes to build on the federal level. But there is a direct mirror reflection of what it takes to build on the private level as it relates to this. Would you agree, Mr.
Yeah, and this is a perfect example of what we try to eliminate in our firm. We talked about this months ago, and we talked about the term of thrashing, which is a computer system that is doing too many tasks that it can't actually progress on anyone. It's only jumping from one to another just to check in on it, and that's all it can do. So that's what's happening in this federal land diagram is probably what happens is an exacerbated, hey, we made one change because plans always change, things need to get updated. Now send it to 47 committees to then get their review and their comment, and then their comments and reviews, like they spot something different. You're literally thrashing the whole progress of everything. So much so that, let me ask you this question, Lance.
Yeah.
A normal project, and let's just say, Lance, you are the architect, I am the developer. And let's say we spend a month or two, and we got like plans and elevations done. And we're going to submit basically our first set, and we worked with civil, to a planning department. How long would you expect through a couple iterations? And I'm telling you, you actually done already a couple months of work, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 months of work, to get planning department approval.
Reasonably. So if I'm, am I being reasonable?
Be
here?
reasonable. Be reasonable.
I would think we should get approval within a couple months.
Okay. So with planning, 1 year.
All right. I mean, I'm just saying that seems like I'm trying to play to play the part of
I don't know. Gotcha.
I don't know. I'm just, hey, me and my wife, we've been saving our whole lives. And and now our kids are like, they just left. They're leaving the house. Yep. We got nothing better to do. And we've been saving our whole lives.
Yes.
Al, to buy this lot. And now, we bought it actually. We paid it off.
Yep.
And now we are ready to hire an architect. And we want to, we don't have these kids to deal with. So what we want to do is we just want to build a duplex.
Beautiful duplex.
Hey, I just want to build a duplex. Like, we should have a permit in like a couple months, right?
No, so 1 year.
I'm so serious. Like I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay.
And 1 year is reasonable. And if you go to bigger projects, it will be even longer than that. There was a project in Colorado. This developer bought a piece of land, and he needed to put a road through federal property because it was the only places.
There you go. That's a private to federal cross-pollination.
Yep.
People who were arguing about it.
A road, just a road. And it was the only way to access this property, right? Guess how many months?
Just for the road.
Yep.
9 months. Now I'm playing okay, you told me the bad news. 9 months.
Yep. Okay. I tricked you because I said months. It's in years. He's on his 14th year.
Oh.
And he's like, I now need to sue you. This is 14 years.
Wow.
This is 14 years.
Wow.
And it's the same thing. It's a road.
Back in the day.
Yep.
Here's how far I'm going back. Old Testament, that's a quarter of your life.
Yeah. Yep. And in Boulder County, for example, we were either going to do a resort, right? Or split the process and just do a road.
Oh, it's that project. Okay.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, this is totally different.
Oh, gosh.
And this is the distinction I'm getting is that the bureaucracies don't distinguish between level of difficulty of a project. So this is totally different than that 14-year thing. A whole resort, they're like, yeah, it's going to take you at least a year to get through this whole thing. We're like, okay, we're going to separate it. We're going to do the road first. They go, that might save you a month or two. Because they have to go to every agency. They got to, holy cow.
Bob's got to sign off. And then you know who's going to sign off on Bob's work? The other Bob. Yep. And then the other Bob's got to sign off on his work.
And if you're using the excuse like, oh, no, they have to make sure that nothing goes wrong. Be like, then change your process. Like literally for a road, get those 3 people that it actually matters. Go out to the job site after it's drawn up from the civils. Walk it.
Yeah.
Make some changes. Civil drawings, make some changes. Execute road or not.
Yeah. Get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for cross-pollinating that, Al. I appreciate that. So I've got a question for you. Another one.
Yep.
Whose responsibility do you think it is to check on permits? This is something that basically came up on my side.
Because it could take a year or so.
Yeah, it could take a year or so. Do you think it's us? Do you think it's the owner? Do you think we need to clarify? What do you think the listeners think about whose job it is to check in on permits? And the example is, hey, I'm the architect. I submitted for your permit. Here's the permit number. Here's also the portal you can check in on it, client. There you go. Do you think so? It's back to the thrashing. Is this really what you should be doing with your life as an architect? Or honestly, since it's not you don't own the building, probably, right? You're just being hired as a professional.
Yep.
who should be doing it? And I actually even wrote up a clause I wanted to bring up.
I think
after you kind of answer that.
If I was the general public, I would think it's the architect's responsibility. Now that I have this job and I know what this job is, I believe it's the responsibility of the architect to let the owner know how to check in and keep tabs on it.
Yeah.
That's what I believe.
Yeah, and I think we've evolved exactly to that conclusion. And so I just wanted to share like a little clause in our contract that we wrote up about it. And just maybe it'll help you, maybe it won't, whatever. And we're sort of testing it out. Like it's literally kind of happening in real time. For our Denver project specifically, though, and if anybody is a Denver listener, Denver Metro listener, I don't know if you guys know this, but remember that Denver actually put out all of the data on what it takes, like where they're at in the process of reviewing your project, timeline, percentage of time they actually hit it, and stuff like that. We've actually been preemptively in that specific jurisdiction letting clients know as soon as we start the project or sign a new project with them, hey, just so you're aware, once we get to this point, here's how long Denver is taking to review. And it sort of takes the temperature down and kind of sets the stage for reasonable expectations, right? Lower the expectations in life for everything, and you'll be pleasantly surprised. You said that over and over again. So here's the clause. Client is, if you're watching on YouTube, you can even read it. Client is responsible for observing the permit status once the permit has been applied for by F9 Productions. F9 Productions will provide instructions to the client on how to check in on the permit status upon permit submittal, acceptance from the city or county. F9 Productions will be available and the contact for the city for the permit status, but is not the primary party responsible for observing the city or county. Typically, the city or county will contact F9 via email with any questions, concerns, or comments, but it is not always guaranteed and therefore falls unto the client to be the primary permit status observer, as they are the owner of the property.
And I think this comes in two different scenarios. If it is a homeowner or someone small,
Yeah.
this is their project, this is their baby, it
Sure.
should be on their eye, rather than, because like you said, it's their financial investment too. We have multiple projects going on. Sometimes the jurisdiction does not let you know that it's done, and that's the issue.
Yeah.
So we can't look every morning at this. But if this is your baby, then you can. If you're a bigger firm, a bigger developer firm, you have staff. Like I know some staff that has lawyers on their, on their staff. Like, okay, your staff can check in on the 4 or 5 big projects that you're doing to make sure it's
You're
going
probably
on.
commanding that kind of time and fee.
Yeah.
Anyway, just a little thing to talk about.
No.
It's a
The
nuance.
developer staff.
Yeah. Well, even them, there's a developer's fee.
Yep.
Okay. But yeah, to be clear, there's attorneys on staff at the developer sometimes. I had a really interesting interview this week with a gentleman who's going to be on the Monday morning show in probably a month or so. His name is Michael DeLon. And I wanted to show Al this idea that he has about following up.
Interesting.
It is an interesting idea. I'm going to play this. It is a video here, and if you're watching on the YouTube, you will see it. You will get a little sneak peek, and if you're listening in the car, you're listening in the car. 2 questions come to mind on that, on the follow-up bit. One is there a frequency that you recommend? In other words, for example, I sent a proposal on Friday. I'm going to follow up Monday, and then, is it every week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Like, do you expand the frequency? And then the second question is there some phrases that I have heard other business owners use, like myself, which I'm an architect for the record, and that is, I think it's a mistake when they say, let's say the follow-up is on a Monday. Good morning, Michael. Just following up. Is there a better phrase than just following up?
Yeah, kill that phrase. So a couple things. I use a lot of video. Okay, there's a company out there called Loom, LOOM.com. Go check them out. And it allows you to shoot short videos and email them to people. Okay, so I would do that. So if we met on Monday, right after that meeting, I would Loom you a video saying, Lance, thanks so much for spending some time with me. I really enjoyed our conversation. I'll follow up with you on Monday or Tuesday, and we'll take it to the next step. Boom. Come Monday, I'll probably Loom you again. Hey, Lance, hope you had a great weekend. I got some relaxation done, and I just wanted to talk about where we left off on our last conversation. Here's what was going to happen. The next step would be us scheduling another time to call. Is that good for you? Do you want to do that this week or next? Something like it's a lot more personal. We hide behind email, and I like video because it allows you to experience my tone of voice and my actions. And obviously, I speak with my whole body.
Yeah.
So video is great for me. But Loom, and you don't have to be animated like me to use Loom, but it allows me to see you, to hear you, much like a video podcast, right? It allows me to say, oh, I like this guy. So video follow up like that, and saying maybe next steps. Yeah, get rid of follow up. Let's talk about the next steps. And those next steps could go either direction. I'm okay with that.
Whoop, stop. Okay. What do you think about that?
I like it. I think we have done things, and some of our listeners to kind of differentiate ourselves. And one is a video on our front page of who we are. I think this is a nice next. I think it's a nice suggestion. Next step. Know what I like about it?
It's interesting, isn't it? I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
I'm going to try it. I'm literally going to try it next week, y'all. Because I sent out... Go ahead, Al.
Then please send me a Loom. Because if I am a customer and I have to download something and something like that, I'd be like, this is dumb.
No, that's exactly. And I asked, so just so you guys know, later on in the interview, the next sentence, I asked him, how does it work?
Yep.
Is it just a link? It is just a link. There's no extra software. Yes.
Yep. So I want to experience from the client perspective and be like, okay, that was easy. Keep going with it. Or like there might have been something weird, like people aren't gonna like this. But
yeah.
Yeah,
I sent out 3 proposals this morning. So next week I'm gonna try it. If none of them sign, or even if one of them, whatever. But I'm gonna try it out. I'm excited about it. That's where we're at. You know what I'm not excited about, Al?
I don't. Your fishing
is
not working out?
Well, last weekend I did not fish at all, and I've kind of been in a mood all week. Yeah. Where is this recession headed? Like, is it coming? Is it not coming? I think it's... So there's an article on, and I want your opinion about this, Al, too, because you've been listening to financial guys all week, from what I heard. There's an article that came out on LinkedIn. Is white-collar recession coming? So the U.S. workforce is emerging from the health crisis in a new shape. Well, they don't even say COVID anymore. The jobs recovery during the pandemic skewed so sharply in favor of white-collar workers that the group now faces the most risk of layoffs in a recession or economic slowdown. Those employed in a professional and business services are up by more than 1 million from 2020, and those in leisure and hospitality down 1.2 million. While the economy added a solid 315,000 payrolls in August, those for white-collar workers fell for the first time before the crisis. 2/3 of employers expect a recession, according to an August survey of small and mid-sized businesses by Principal Financial Group.
Nowhere, like, one thing that's been building in my head, and I'll probably say it here, and it'll probably catch on fire and be the new buzz term. So there's recession and depression.
Started here first, yep.
Right? And I think we might be into something different. I think it might be a deflation. And it's a buzzword because it's the opposite of inflation.
Mm-hmm.
And I would still use that term during inflation, meaning deflation of like the value of the dollar, deflation of productivity, deflation of
living standards.
Thank you. The stock market could be flat for two years.
It could be. It literally could be flat for 2 years.
So deflation, to me, it's at the, you're deflated. And that's where I could see everything. Is like, this might happen with layoffs. Layoffs might be the same, but with, what did you say, living standards? Like, everything is just deflated. I feel like that could be what it, in 5 years, people will call this the Great Deflation. And you can thank me for that because you heard it here first.
Yeah, exactly. I quit screen recording, but just want to just to put it in perspective, this whole 2 year this idea that it's going to be 2 year flat and even just the stock market. The average, this is according to Forbes, the average bear market lasts 289 days. How long do we have left? I have no idea what length is right now. I was hoping that's what this article would be. And
probably about 3 months, 90 days.
I think it's longer than that, isn't it? That's what I was trying to see is like, in fact, the average, let's see here. When will the current bear market end? Oh, okay. You're right, Al. The current bear market in the S&P 500 was officially called on June 23rd, 2022, right? And let's see here. From this date, I'm going to look up from this date to this date. There's a calculator you can look up. Date duration between times and dates. Okay, perfect. So what did I say?
June 23rd.
Did I? Let me see. June 13th. Close. Sorry, autism kicked in there, and I had to get it perfect, Al. And then they say the average. So what I'm doing is I'm putting in the calculator here. The average bear market lasts 289 days, right? And calculate duration.
Add days, I think it's the next tab.
There we go. And we're going to add 289 days from June 13th, and we're going to calculate the new date. And it should be, holy cats. So the average,
Didn't I say April?
You did say April. So this is exactly where I was going with this, Al, because that's what I was trying to pull out of you. Go ahead. What were we going to say?
Tell them the actual date.
So the actual date is March 29th, 2023.
So we turn around April 1st.
So we turn around April 1st, like Al was saying to me earlier in the office this week. That is sort of his prediction, is this dip, this sort of flattening. Now, that's at like the soonest, right? If anybody wants to know, I'm going to tell you really quickly here. So I just think this, like, the stats don't lie. Longest bear market.
And it also could be like what you were saying, a big U, meaning once we get to that low point of the U, it could be equally slow and low and level going up.
Yeah.
Thus the term deflation. A year of that.
Yep. According to this different article, according to Seeking Alpha, which analyzed every bear market since 1928, the longest ever bear market occurred in 1973 and 74, which we're kind of paralleling that sort of high inflationary environment, right? Stagflation, inflation, all of that, which lasted 630 days or 21 months, 2 years, right? So we're going to do 631 now. So I think what I'm getting at is perfect. Holy cow, Al, you're kind of right again, even if it is the April again. So they're saying now if we go to the longest bear market, we actually come out of it in 2 years, basically March 5th, 2024.
Yeah.
Food for thought. It doesn't seem like there's sunny skies ahead because we still have not felt this pain for shutting down the economy for that long and then doing all these things and printing all this money and inflating, just weirdly skewing the economy like we started out with this segment about the increase of white collars, the decrease in blue collars, etc.
Yep. I wanted to mention, unless we already talked about it, and you can remind me, we talked about quiet quitting last time.
Yeah.
That there's an opposite movement called Fat Fire.
No.
Okay. It stands for financially independent, retire early.
Ah.
So people doing the opposite, just going nuts, and it kind of works out too. You could level your responsibilities of your job, and then outside of your job, do multiple streams of income and stuff like that.
How very Andrew Tate of those guys. We were doing the opposite.
There you go. Multiple things.
What do we got next?
We have Airy Jeopardy. Let's bring down the crew.
Let's go.
Okay, ready. Question numero uno. Where would you find parking standards such as stall width, length, aisle width, etc.? Would it be A, the IBC, B, the IRC, C, the authority having jurisdiction, or D, the Parking Standards of America Association? All right, who's all A? C? It is C, the authority having jurisdiction. They are the ones. So think about like your standard. If it's 8 by 19 or something like that. Up in the mountains, Winter Park, literally 9 by 20. More trucks, things like that. Yep. Question number 2. Columns in heavy timber construction shall have a minimum dimension of what? So the columns of heavy timber construction should have a minimum dimension of what? Is it A, 4 inches, B, 6 inches, C, 8 inches, D, 10 inches?
These are nominally.
Yes. But I don't know if they really specify, to be honest.
The question is what?
Columns in heavy timber construction have the minimum dimension. Yep. So heavy timber is one of the classifications. Type 4? Thank you.
Look at you.
I keep my stamp. C, C, A, C, 8 inches. Yep.
Yep. Pretty neat, huh? Wood is inherently fire resistant. I love it, even though we burn it. Number 3, this is a value that pushed... Number 3, this is a valve that pushed water from one chamber into the next, thus losing some water pressure. Is it A, global, B, ball, C, butterfly, D, needle? Reeves, give me that look. You need to know about valves.
Yo. Get your knowledge on.
Yeah. A, global, B, ball, C, butterfly, D, needle. Yep. Indeed. Has nothing to do with this ever. What do we got? B, C. What you got? B. The correct answer is global.
A.
All right, what do we got for scores? Since we're on the last one.
Wow.
Ooh.
All right.
What
You
is...
can't use the same letter.
4. What is the main vent for a building called? A, exhaust, B, supply, C, stack, or D, balanced? No collusion.
No collusion.
What is the main vent for a building called? This will actually be on a test. I would actually highly recommend
Peanut
memorizing
gallery
this.
needs to be quiet.
Yeah. Reeves has C. And Tyler has C. And Jason has A. Correct answer is C.
All right. Tiebreaker. Coming
Good,
up.
we have a
Who's
tiebreaker.
reading it? Ross.
That's going to be a scroll. Nope, I put it up there. You did? Yep. Okay, awesome.
Oh, scroll, yeah.
All right, is everybody ready? At what temperature in Fahrenheit are heating degree days versus cooling degree days based off of?
So what is the point where it's heating versus cooling?
Apologies to our Celsius listeners.
Fahrenheit degrees.
32.
Not 32.
This will also be on the test.
Not
Closer.
70. Closer.
50.
No.
76.
69.
I can't believe that wasn't an right away. Like right away.
67. So close, getting
66.
closer. Getting closer.
4. 65.
65 degrees. is the correct answer.
65 degrees. Al, what do you got? Anything?
Culver's? What? No, I don't have anything.
I like Culver's. If you like this episode, please leave us a 5-star review. If you're listening terrestrially, if you're watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, leave us a positive comment. We'll see you next week.
See ya at Runza.